Hello, and welcome to episode 187 of Dark and Stormy Book Club. We have a special episode today. We attended the Fright Reads Book Conference last Saturday. We met and were intrigued by the Mobtown Paranormal Investigative Team. They are ghost hunters. Enjoy.
I'm Ann Dart.
I'm Tracy Stormy.
And I'm Kathy Knight.
And together we are
It Was a Dark and Stormy Book Club,
a podcast for mystery lovers.
Welcome.
If you enjoy our show, please consider contributing to the Dark and Stormy Patreon. By becoming a patron, you will help us create better and quality content. There are also benefits to becoming a patron, such as exclusive content and Dark and Stormy merchandise. Become a supporter at patreon.com/darkandstormybc. Check our website for the link. We appreciate any and all contributions. Thank you.
We would like to welcome two members of the Mobtown Paranormal Research Team. We have with us Steve.
Hello.
And Beth.
Hello.
We met them at the Fright Reads Book Festival last weekend, and we were intrigued, and we thought we'd have them on the show to introduce them to our listeners.
What I'd like to know is what got you guys into this? What intrigued you to do this?
Mike Cook and we were part of a different paranormal team years ago. He and I decided to leave that paranormal team because they really weren't doing any paranormal stuff. So we started our own, and Mike's the one that's got most of the equipment. So he and I started it together, and I knew Steve is my next door neighbor. We're actually next door to each other right now. We're both interested in ghosts and horror. For me, it's more about I want to believe that there's something after we're gone. I want to believe that there's more to life or there's more after this. And I just want proof of it. I'm kind of a skeptic, but not a skeptic at the same time. I want to believe, but I want proof of it.
You sound like me.
Yeah.
My story's a little different. I'm a huge movie fan, particularly horror movie fan. All my life, I've been watching horror movies. And then in 1984, there was a movie called Ghostbusters. I was totally hooked on that. As years gone on, they came out with other movies, Paranormal Activities, and I was really interested. And I saw other paranormal groups. And then Beth asked me if I would want to do it. And I was like, heck yeah, I'm in. And been fun ever since.
We're big Halloween people, too. We're next door to each other. Every Halloween, his house and our house would be done up. Everybody in the neighborhood and in other parts of Baltimore knew our houses every year. I think we were the first two houses in this neighborhood that just went all out for Halloween. People would pull up in vans down the street, and a bunch of people would come out just to come to our houses.
It's my favorite holiday.
Steve, we'll start with you. Tell us about your first investigation.
First investigation. What was the first investigation? That was a house in Park for me.
Yeah, the house in Parkville.
First time I had all this new fresh equipment that I bought, just getting the hang of it. It didn't take us long to organize, which was great. We have a pretty good group. At that point, I believe we had 6. We always work in pairs when you do ghost investigations. We knew who we were working with. There was no second thought. As the night went on, we caught a few things.
Equipment malfunctioning.
Yeah, the radio started acting all kinds of crazy.
Yeah.
Doing like high-pitched chirping and out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden just stopped.
Mike and I down in the basement where it was a woman whose husband had died in the house, in the basement, and they had had a room set up down the basement for him. And that's where her daughters and her believed that either he was there, his ghost or something. It was Mike and I went down there with our walkies, and the walkie-talkie just went berserk. And I was like, I am out of here. going back upstairs. I'm done. Because it was so loud and it scared the heck out of me so bad. And I said, I'm done. I'm going back upstairs. But that was an interesting one because Mike had the grid, right? He had that.
Yeah, he had the green grid.
That thing is kind of creepy. Anything you see movement or whatever, that freaks you out.
It's about bending light with the grid. So a ghost could walk in front of it and would cause the light to bend. And you'd see like a shadow up on the wall where the grid is. Apparently that's proof that there's something there. We did see something the size of a person go through that grid.
Is that like night vision?
Yeah, it's dark except for those green laser light things.
Yeah, it's lasers pointing at the wall. Yes, it's light beaming. When it goes through, it bends the light, which creates a outline almost.
Yeah.
And you can see it moving. That was pretty good proof to me. I'm also a skeptic, and I will find any way, shape, or form to prove that it's not a ghost.
You almost have to be a skeptic to do this. If you're all in, everything's going to be a ghost.
Right. I totally agree. There are people out there, they think they see stuff. In their mind, they know they see stuff, but it's cold air.
We had another one that was here in Dundalk, where we live, on Trap Road. That was probably the most exciting one, I think, for Steve especially, and me, because
I don't know if I would say exciting.
it was pretty crazy. Let me start, Steve, and I'll let you tell them what you experienced, but I'll tell them what I saw.
All you.
I usually man the monitors. Well, for that house, I think we had 4 monitors set up.
Yep.
The bedroom upstairs was where the 2 youngest children slept. And it was a mother and a father. They had an older daughter and then a boy and a girl that were younger. And they shared the upstairs. It's like a bungalow house. So it's like the roof or the attic of the house is the bedroom. They had a desk that belonged to the father's grandmother. They had told us different things. The little boy apparently could see spirits and talk to spirits and things. And there were 2 in particular in that house that the little boy always used to talk about. And one was nice. They didn't know who he was, but he was burned. So he had been burned really bad, and that's how he died, apparently. And then there was another one that the little boy said was evil, and he called him the Blah. He used to say that the Blah did not like when his father was there at all. He did not like his father at all. The one that was burned would always be in there when it was just the mother and the kids. He would sit in the kitchen with them while they were cooking and doing their... It seemed like things that were going weird or strange in the house always ended up happening because of the father or around the father. So the kids would be upstairs playing a video game. They were sitting in the, I don't know, I think it was in the upstairs, but they were across from this desk. And the father said that all of a sudden a chair shot out from the desk at him. We centered our investigation upstairs. I'm down in the back sunroom of the house watching the monitors, and Steve and our sensitive at the time, she's passed now, she was really talented, but her name was Vicky. The 2 of them were upstairs and they were asking their questions. I can't hear them, but I can see them. So Steve is sitting directly across from this desk in this chair with his feet straight out in front of him, and Vicky's in a chair next to him, like a rocking chair, and they're asking questions. All of a sudden, I see this flash like of electricity shoot from across at this desk straight at Steve. I could see it on the monitor. I was like, oh my God. And then right as it happened, Steve leaps up off the floor and him and Vicky come running down the stairs. And I'm like, go back upstairs, go back upstairs. And Steve's like, I'm not going back upstairs. So
Beth also told me, don't move, and that made me want to move.
I was like, I just saw something shoot into you or shoot from that desk, and I felt it shoot through me. It was crazy.
This house was built on the Bread and Cheese Creek, which was a part of Battle of North Point during the Revolution. I believe there was other things going on with this house also, other than what the family saw. We were picking up voices talking about getting the cheese stock down the creek. So there's Bread and Cheese Creek right there. It was clear as day with that one. We kept hearing a name come up, Toby. I think Toby was the one that came home with me. Apparently that lightning that went into my foot followed me home one night for 3 nights straight. Around 3 o'clock, I heard a bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and it woke us up. I was married at the time, and my ex-husband and I, it woke us up, and we're trying to figure out where it was sounded like pipes banging. Like, where is this coming from? And this is in the middle of the night. So I text Steve, do you hear that? Is there somebody in your backyard? What are you doing over there?
It wasn't in my backyard. It was in my house.
Yeah, it was weird.
Then it went away?
After I cleansed the house, it was 3 nights straight it did this. And it was scaring the crap out of me and my dog.
So what's the process of cleansing your house?
For this, I burned sage. Then I did the prayer St. Michael, and that seemed to do the job.
I keep sage around just in case.
There's more extensive ways to do that. This, I guess, was pretty minor, and it got it out.
Well, that video that we did that night, and of that happening up there with that electricity that looked like it shot through him, when we set up the cameras are all on the same loop. They're all on the same time. It's matched up together. That camera, say it was number 4, is the only camera. It was missing like 30 to 40 seconds of that exact time that happened. The rest of the cameras were fine. There was nothing missing. Isn't it just the way? Anytime that something happens, you miss it. You don't get it. It doesn't come up on the audio or the video. Or
Yeah, it went blank. As soon as it touched me, it went blank.
Wow. So would you say that was your scariest moment?
I don't know.
No.
Fort Howard was scary to me.
Oh, so you did the Fort Howard.
Yeah,
That one was interesting. We did, 3 nights of that?
Yeah, we were there 2 different weekends, and we had it for a couple nights in a row, 2 weekends.
What did you hear there?
For me, we were in one of the buildings as you're coming into Fort Howard. They told us was used as a rehabilitation. I don't know if it was drugs for whatever, but it was like the mental part of the hospital or something. We were set up with the monitors and everything in this back side room that I felt okay in. I was comfortable in there. But however, because we're there all night and I had to go to the bathroom, and the only place to go was a spotter pot all the way on the other side of the hospital, which kids had demolished and destroyed. We weren't going to that. So I had Mike and Tim, who used to be on our team, walk me outside to go to the bathroom. So I went on the side of a car or whatever on one of our vehicles. And then as we're coming back in, I made one of them walk in front of me and one of them was behind me because I didn't like that building at all. As we're walking in, as you come through the door, there's a stairwell over to the left. I saw a figure, a tall, thin, skinny figure just rocking in the doorway. And I'm like, get me back into that room. Get me back into the room. We didn't have cameras or anything at that time. We were just taking a break real quick, going outside and coming back in. But I saw it, but they didn't. But that's also where we have audio on our website, where Mike and Tim went to the far room in that building, and they had some really low, awful-sounding, growling man behind them. And they have it on audio. That did come up. And then right after, they said they heard children laughing. The children aren't on the audio, just this growling noise behind them. And they were like, holy, like, oh my God. So, and they got out of there.
You know, I was thinking about what you were saying about the children that could see the apparition. The house that I live in is over 60 years old. We moved into it, and soon after my son was born, when he was old enough to talk, we would find him in rooms just talking. And we'd say, who are you talking to? And he'd very matter-of-factly say, Bob. He lives in that picture over there. Wow. And he said, and he's green. It went on, and we'd find him in his room just having conversations. Now, as adults, we've never seen anything other than my husband, the day we moved in, heard somebody humming, and he thought it was music coming from outside. But when he went outside, he couldn't hear anything. So we don't know what that was about. We're pretty skeptical, too.
Yeah, I definitely believe children, they've not grown up enough to have the skepticism. And they're so open-minded. Steve, what was your scariest time that we ever had at a place?
My scariest time didn't even deal with a ghost or anything. Me and Brandy were in the basement of that one house that was in Overlea.